Hi, and welcome to the Jenspiration Conversation. If this is your first time here on the channel, welcome. I am so grateful that you're here. If you are a returning viewer, deeply appreciate you coming back to spend some time with us. My name is Jennifer, and you've reached my little corner of the internet, of the ether, of YouTube, where we talk all things spirituality, but make it street. Street spirituality is our brand. That feels so on brand for me right now. That's what it is. It's spirituality, but it's very much grounded in reality. A lot of spiritual concepts, we can struggle to grasp them because sometimes they're just really out there and woo-woo. I love a little woo-woo, but some of the woo-woo-ier stuff can be a bit much. Anyway, I digress. Bring it back. My spirituality is grounded in reality because I live in this world with you. So, all that to say, you've landed here. Are you ready to have a Jenspiration conversation? Because I am. I chose today to talk about, in the tarot world, there is a card called the Tower, and it's storming outside. And I thought, how fitting that I chose to talk about the Tower when it's a little chaotic and not so calm outside. So I think that's my spirit team saying, yes, let's talk about the Tower today. I am not going to get into all of the behind the scenes stuff with what tarot is. If you're drawn to tarot, then that's great. If you're not, the Tower card is still something that you should stick around to hear about because you've probably experienced and will continue to experience Tower moments in your life. So, to keep myself on track, I have a few notes here because I can get off on tangents and I don't want to make these videos incredibly long. I also just ran to my spiritual room and I grabbed some examples of Tower cards. So I'm going to show you what those look like. So in tarot, as well as in life, the universe, spirit will send you Tower moments. So by definition, you can look it up, but by definition, Tower moments can be chaotic, unsettling, disruptive, and really challenging. And they come into your life to shake everything up. They literally break the foundation of your life so that you will see something differently, so that you can rebuild from a more honest place. Tower moments are usually sent to us when we aren't living authentically. Spirit and your spirit guides can see you. They can see how you're living your life. And if your path is starting to veer in a not so authentic way, they will come in and send you a Tower moment and be like, wait, let's shake this up because we'd like you to go back this way. We would like you to see something differently, hear something differently, understand something differently about yourself. We are breaking your foundation, your old belief systems, your limiting belief systems, those repeating stories that you tell yourself. Things like, I'm shitty at this, I can't do this. Well, I've always been a really shy person, so I'm always going to be a shy person for the rest of my life. Or I can't do that because there's 1,000 other people doing it and they're doing it better than me. All of those stories that you subconsciously tell yourself all the time. I'm not pretty, I'm not smart, I'm too fat, I'm too short, I'm too skinny, whatever. All of those limiting beliefs are the foundation that you walk around your life with, right? So when you start living inauthentically, Spirit's going to be like, nah, girl or guy, we're going to come in and send you something to shake things up. So by send you something, examples of tower moments can be a health issue, a brand new health issue, or a continuing reoccurring health issue. They can bring you a sudden end to a relationship, divorce, separation, a job layoff or a job loss, like cut you off from your job, demotions from your job. It can be financial loss, financial ruin. God forbid you lose your house. You know, they can send you some very significant tower moments if they feel it's warranted. And whether you believe in the moment that it's warranted or not, when you come out the other side and you look at it from a higher perspective or a different perspective, it will always make sense. All of my tower moments made sense to me. So I want to just pause there and show you kind of what the tower is. So in the traditional like Rider-Waite, which is the traditional kind of the traditional tarot that's created, they literally show a tower with people falling out of it, right? So it's a symbol of the universe sending you something to shake everything up so that you will crumble and fall. As harsh as that sound, you will crumble and fall so that you can rebuild from a more authentic place. So here's another example of a tower. This kind of looks like a tree house. Every author has their own depiction of what a tower moment is. Like this, I love crows. So here is the crow tarot version of the tower. Hopefully you can see that. My lighting is really bad in here today. This is a chakra tarot deck. I love this deck. Each card is associated with a different chakra color. You'll see on this one, there's kind of like an angel and a devil, and the tower is on fire. Can you see that? I hope so. I'm sorry if you can't, but... And then these two decks that I have, look how interesting the tower depiction is here. This is called the Spirit Song Tarot, and they just depicted the tower with a lizard. And this is the Light Seers Tarot. You'll see a lot of tarot readers use this one. This is my favorite. That's why I saved it for last. This is my favorite tarot deck, but it's also my favorite tower card. See that? It's just a little squirrel, and he's looking up at the lightning, and he's like, you know what? I'm not so scared of this. I got my nuts, and things are going to be okay. I got my wits about me, and things are going to be okay. So there's just different depictions of what a tower can be. A lot of people get scared of towers. They're like, you know, I don't want a tower moment to happen to me. And they live life, you know, so closed off, or they live life so scared that, you know, the next shoe's going to drop or whatever. And then it's going to happen. Spirit's going to send you a tower moment because they don't want you living that way either. So the tower is here because it requires you to go through a necessary transformation. And whether you like it or not, there is a lesson in it. And I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to bore you with, you know, all of my tower moments. But I'm going to tell you about the most significant tower moment. And at the time, I was right on the cusp of learning about spirituality. Like, I had just started to understand what synchronicities were, or angel numbers. Like, that's how basic it was. I was a corporate recruiter for 25 years plus. I worked in really corporate environments. I worked in the financial industry. I worked in the airline industry for a little while, banking industry. And the tower moment occurred when I was working for a sports and entertainment company. I was based here in Canada, but the company was in the United States, and I had signed a contract to work for them, kind of for an undisclosed amount of time. The contract was just kind of open-ended. So over the course of my life, I had attached so much of my identity to the work I did, to how I performed, how I showed up, what I wore, the type of reputation that I had as a corporate recruiter. Now, don't get me wrong. I was good at it, great in fact. And I'm confident enough to say that about myself now, that I was an outstanding recruiter. The reason I was good at it is because I was in a world where everyone was kind of doing everything the exact same way. And once in a while, I tiptoed outside the box and I put my own spin on things. And the corporate world very quickly slapped me and was like, be yourself, but not really. Like, be yourself, but in these parameters. So for years and years and years, I'm doing this job and I'm winning awards and winning trips and I'm doing well. Great, cool. I left a long-term employment because I needed a change and I was physically moving locations. Then I did some contract work. Then I landed at this sports and entertainment company. And I love sports. I am an avid football fan, love hockey, golf, all the things. And so I was beyond thrilled to work for their talent acquisition team. And I hit the ground running, okay? I was like, all the Zoom calls, I'm paying attention, like I am here to prove to you how amazing I am at this job. And I was grinding. I was putting in ridiculous hours, helping them build, modules and interview guides from scratch. And I was like recruiting and chasing and interviewing and working ridiculous hours. And I was grinding it out. At the time, I thought I loved it. And I think I loved it because of who they were. And when someone would meet me, they'd be like, well, what do you do? And I'd be like, I work for, I don't want to say the company, just, I could. You guys are probably going to guess who it is. It's a huge sports and entertainment company in the United States. Okay, you know who it is. And I loved how that sounded rolling off my tongue. So I attached so much of my identity to that work. And I would meet up with old colleagues that I used to work with. And I'll be honest, as hard as this is to say, I showed off a little bit. I did. I showed off a little bit because I was like, hell yeah, I made it. Look at me. And I'm not that type of person. Like, I don't do that. So I was starting to create this identity that matched this job. I put so much stock in this job, okay? I'm telling you all of this because here comes the tower moment. Throughout the course of the year that I was working with them, I had leaders calling me saying, they have to extend your contract. You have to stay with us. You've done so much for us and I'm so happy. And candidates were messaging me like, we have to keep you. Like, I'm only here because of you. And like, I was feeling so good about myself, and so happy. The talent acquisition team was happy with me. The managers I worked with, everyone was happy with me. I was employed through a third party that was also based in Canada. So I, essentially invoiced her. She invoiced the company and, that's how I got paid. So I technically had to go through her, to talk contract negotiation. And she kept saying, they love you. Everything's going to be fine. It'll be fine. Everything's going to be fine. It'll be fine, Jennifer. It'll be fine. So I kept working and grinding. And the company itself was undergoing some layoffs. And that's when I started to be like, okay, well, this could potentially end. Sure. I kept asking the third party, how are we feeling about that? No problem. They love you. It's going to be fine. Well, it wasn't fine. I was going about my merry way thinking, yeah, I've proved myself enough. Like, it's going to be fine. I'm going to be fine here. At the end of October, 2022, I was notified, you're done. We're not renewing the contract. The company's going through layoffs. You're a Canadian employer. We're not keeping you. And when I say that I took that hard, it was an absolute gut punch. And that term comes from feeling like you got punched in the gut. Your solar plexus is right here. And that's where your confidence is. That's where your drive is. That's where your desire for shit is in your solar plexus. I took it. Like, I got the wind knocked out of me because I was so sure, right? I was so sure. They gave me 30 days, so I worked that following November. I still performed. I still killed it because in the back of my mind, I was like, they're going to change their mind. They didn't. At the end of November, see you later. Now, to their credit, the company in the US, to their credit, they were wonderful. They, had a little thing and, said all their goodbyes and were crying on Zoom and all of these things. That following December, I call my dark December because the universe sent me a tower in the form of that job loss that I wasn't expecting. But they did it on purpose. They did it because they saw me performing. They did it because they saw me acting in a way that wasn't authentically who I was. They saw that I was grinding and working and hustling and self-sacrificing and making myself sick and losing weight and losing my hair and not eating and not sleep. They saw all this. And my spirit team was like, we have to put a stop to this. And they did. I was a zombie for that December. I don't remember Christmas. I don't remember anything. I slept and I cried and I cried and I cried and like, guys, when I say I cried, because so much of who I was attached to being a recruiter. And then just after Christmas, the universe sent me a softer tower. And I love this part of the story because the universe sent me a friend of mine who I hadn't heard from in a long time, messaged me and super randomly said, hey, I am working from home full time and I don't like my office. It's just 4 white walls, a black chair, and a desk. Would you like to come over and do something with it? And when I say it was a soft tower, something inside of me lit up. And I went, yes, I'll do that. I just immediately said yes. Within days, I had a plan, I had a color story, and I was immersed into creativity. And I designed his office and styled it for him, and we did like a pretend little reveal. He was gone for the day, and he cried, I cried, everybody cried. And then from that ask, my entrepreneurship journey began. And that's when I went back to school and I took an interior design course. I took a professional home staging course and I opened Jenspire Home that following March. And now I work for myself. I am a full-on entrepreneur who is so far removed from the corporate world, and I have fully embraced my authenticity. And it was interesting because when I was doing the branding for Jenspire Home, I was trying to think of like a tagline. And the first thing that came to my mind, the very first thing, and I know Spirit gave it to me, was inspired and authentic spaces. That's my tagline. And it totally fits because that's who I am. I'm an inspired person now. I'm not a grinder. I am an authentic person now. I have journeyed back home to myself. While I was putting that business together, my spiritual awakening started. So it started in 2023, and it hasn't stopped since then. So had the universe not stepped in and provided that tower moment and given me my dark December, as I call it, to really kind of learn more about myself, I probably would still be grinding it in the corporate world, and I would be miserable. Because looking back on it now, I was miserable. And it takes perspective to see that. When you're in it, you don't see it. When you're out of it, you can see it. So if you are in something right now that doesn't feel authentic to you, the universe is more than likely going to step in and send you a tower. Might be a soft tower, might be a really strong tower. Like I said, it could come in the form of a breakup, a job loss, or God forbid you lose housing. I mean, I've lost housing, but I'm not scared of it anymore. It happens. I've bought and sold 2 houses. I've done all of the things, the showy things that I thought I was supposed to do. You know, new car, big ass 3,000 square foot house that I was living in by myself, hosting these parties and having people over that I didn't even really want in my house anyway. And doing all of these things, I was performing. And I only know that now because I have perspective. I have perspective that none of that was authentic to me. Some of those friendships weren't authentic and aren't authentic, and they have faded away. They faded away not because they're bad or I'm bad or evil or whatever. It's because it's not authentic. I am only aligning with authentic work, authentic people, authentic places, and authentic relationships. It's the reason I'm probably still single. Maybe I'll do a video someday on all of the tower moments that relationships have sent me. And I think that's an important one. I'm not going to do it today because we're going to need a big old cup of tea for that one, and like be prepared to sit and get cozy for a super long Jenspiration conversation where we're cozy, because that's a big one. But yes, they will send you tower moments in your relationships. They will send you kind of aha moments, like small subtle towers can be you finding out the truth about something. You know, what you were believing in, the universe might send you a truth bomb. I've gotten lots of truth bombs. And at the time you're like, whoa, wait a minute, that's not what I thought. But give it a day or two and your perspective shifts, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, that was a mini truth bomb / heartfelt tower from the universe. So yes, towers are going to happen, and I know I've got more headed my way because that's what life is. Everything is a learning opportunity. This is Earth School, and I am going to do a video on Earth School. Shameless plug. I also have a podcast that I started a year ago. There's 18 episodes in there right now, and one of them is on Earth School, if you feel like checking that out. It's available on all your favorite streaming services. It's called Jenspire'd The Podcast. Anyway, I don't want to plug that here. Let me just see if I covered everything. Yeah, so look how much I like crows. I even have like a crow book. Yeah, tower moments can come in to help you see and realize toxic relationships and how you need to walk away from them. Toxic relationships, toxic friendships, toxic careers, okay? Tower moments can come in, oh, it's a good one, to help you let go of a false sense of security, which is what I had. A false sense of security, a false sense of safety. These tower moments allow you to release if you let them. If you resist the tower, trust me, they're going to send you another one. I know someone who lost her job back in October, and she wasn't taking it lying down. And she has resisted at every step. She has fought it and tried to push her way back into the job. And I don't provide unsolicited advice. If someone asks for my input, I provide it, but I don't provide unsolicited advice. But I'm watching from the sidelines and I'm thinking, you're resisting this tower. The universe sent you this job loss because you are meant to look at something differently and you're meant to do something differently. But I have a feeling, because she recently just received another tower moment, they're just going to keep compounding them until you look at something differently. And they do it from a place of love. It is not from a place of smarten up, bitch. It's from a place of, please look at this differently. Please stop what you're doing. Please, please, please. Let's help you realize what's happening. Let's help you release what's not yours. Let's help you let go of those stories that aren't yours. Softer towers can be sudden, beautiful realizations of yourself. And those are my favorite. I get those sometimes in the most random of times. And I'm so appreciative that they come when they do. And they provide this beautiful, like, oh, you're right. I am like that. Or, you know what? I have been through a lot. Or I do deserve a couch day. Like, it's been a week. Like, let me just have a little soft moment for myself. So, these sudden shifts of clarity that come after tower moments are the new layer of your foundation. The more honest place that you can build your life from. So, if you are going through a tower moment right now, I'm here for you. I totally get it. The answer is not outside of yourself. Try not to run around and be like, why did this happen to me? And tell me why, and tell me why, and tell me why. Go in here. Go in here. Go in here. Your heart, your soul. You know why. You know why the tower's there. My dark December, I resisted the tower moment for a bit, right? Like, I cried my way through my tower moment. But slowly over time, my shoulders started to soften because the tower moment also broke my routine. I wasn't getting up at 6 a.m. and logging in at 7 a.m. and, taking my first interview at 7:30 in the morning. Like, what? Who does that? It changed my routine. It allowed me to rest and it allowed me to soften. And once I stopped resisting it, I was like, whew, this not working and grinding is kind of nice. And then I went to, why am I enjoying this? Wait a minute. Do I actually miss this job or do I miss what this job represented? And ding, 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 ding. That's when it started. And then all of a sudden, the universe started to send me more synchronicities and more signs and more song lyrics and more flickering of lights and more what have yous. To be like, yes, 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 girl, you're on it. Yes, 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 you got it, you got it. Every time you have a realization and they're literally clapping for you, synchronicities are going to increase. Signs are going to increase. That song lyric is going to play and you're going to hear it and go, oh, that's what they meant. And I am covered in chills right now, which is, whew, it's my spirit guide's way of saying, like, yes, girl, yes, we're confirming what you're saying. So that is what a tower is. Don't fight them. You won't see them coming. They're going to come unexpectedly. But when they... Man. This camera just decides to click out after a certain amount of time. So I apologize. We're back at it. And it always seems to click out when I'm ready to wrap it up. So you know what? That's a sign. That's a sign from the universe that they're like, wrap it up. Wrap it up. I'm taking that as a sign because that has happened 3 or 4 times now. So I hear you, okay? I hear you. I was wrapping it up. Okay, that's what a tower moment is. If you're experiencing one right now, I feel you. I'm here for you. The collective is here for you. Feel free to share if you feel comfortable sharing. If you are looking for a little bit of advice, shameless plug, I don't like doing this, but I do have a spiritual guidance business that I also started. I'll put the link in the description box. I'm wishing you so much love and light, and I'm so grateful that you are here, we're here, and will continue to show up here. So yeah, that's it for now. Cheers, everybody. Bye.